My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tawengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Harvest supermarkets sued by former owners. Several countries express interest in buying Fiji sugar. And government announces allowance for the disabled.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
The former owner of 786 Fine Dine Restaurant and Supermarket is taking legal action against the Christian Mission International Church and its business arm, Harvest Supermarket. 786 Supermarket sold its business based in Turak, Suva to the church in December last year, but has not yet received full payment amounting to hundreds and thousands of dollars. Pranita Prakash reports.
3 years after operations, the owners of 786 Supermarket decided to sell off the business at $630,000 to Christian Mission International Church.
Last year, December before. So they're supposed to pay December last. So they delay and reach now.
Director Regina Malekal says it's over 8 months now, and apart from the $21,000 deposit paid by the church, they are still waiting for full settlement of $630,000.
They did the agreement that they will pay before December. So they were telling they were waiting for the bank loan and approval and everything. So it's processing and still making us wait. They told next week like we were waiting. We're going to take the legal action against them. If they pay as soon as possible, it's good for them. Otherwise, they must be regret.
786 Supermarket had sold its business together with the stock and equipment so that the church's commercial arm, Harvest Supermarket, could immediately take over operations. Malekal says they had another potential buyer, however they decided to sell off the business to the church.
We got the opportunity, but we give priority to the church people. But they betray us. We never thought they were going to do this to us.
This building, which housed the 786 Supermarket and later Harvest Supermarket, is now empty because a few weeks after the church took over, it stopped paying rent to the building owner.
FBC News has made several attempts to get comments from the Christian Mission International Church President Reverend Suliasi Kurulo and business manager Mesake Navari. However, both have refused to make any comments on the matter. The former owners are now taking the matter to court to recover money owed to them by one of Fiji's most prominent churches. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The Fiji Sugar Corporation and the Sugar Ministry are yet to make a decision on new sugar buyers as the EU preferential agreement ends this month. Permanent Secretary for Sugar Yogesh Karan says they will be meeting with potential buyers during the International Sugar Meeting in London in November. Savarathambur reports.
A lot of sugar buyers overseas have shown interest in our sugar. El Salvador is one of the potential buyers, and Permanent Secretary for Sugar Yogesh Karan says they will hold further talks with them on sugar prices during the London meeting.
The task has been given to the CEO to find the best possible deals that we will get. So not conclusive at this stage, but every opportunity that we had invited in international forums, we have been talking about our potential markets.
FSC Chief Executive Graham Clark says once the agreement comes to an end, it's all about competition. Responding to questions sent by FBC News via email, Clark said they have received several inquiries from Japan, Taiwan, Korea, China and Dubai, who are all attracted to our sugar quality. Clark says these countries also have the ability to benefit from lower freight rates due to Fiji being closer than some other sugar suppliers. He says FSC will continue to take inquiries from European customers, but lower prices in the EU do not make this market very attractive. Clark says Fiji has also started selling sugar to some Pacific Island countries where it still enjoys a good reputation. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
The Social Welfare Ministry is working on identifying persons with disabilities who qualify for the new disability allowance. Minister Meriseni Vuniwanga says the $90 allowance will be given to those who are permanently disabled. Sainiani Boiler reports.
This is the first time persons with disability will be receiving separate allowance, and Social Welfare Minister Meriseni Vuniwanga says it will take some time to complete the logistics.
We will need to actually go out to the communities and serve those persons where they live, given the state of disability. So that's what we are trying to solidify right now, so that we can go out into the communities and do that.
The program will be rolled out in conjunction with the Health Ministry. Vuniwanga says this is because the Health Ministry has the expertise that will help them to assess the potential recipients.
Sadra Hospital in India, where they screened persons living with disabilities. Out of that exercise, which was about 2 weeks long, we were able to already identify persons who would qualify for the disability allowance.
Especially those field officers who are out there in the field, social welfare officers, that will be conducting the assessment for whether who is eligible for the disability allowance or not.
The government has provided around $8 million for the new disability allowance in the 2017-2018 budget. The ministry hopes to launch the new allowance this month. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
There is a lack of critical analysis in the media on reporting human rights, its violations or otherwise. According to the Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum, this is where training is vital to ensure Fijians are informed. The AG highlighted these points while opening a 2-day training workshop for media practitioners on reporting human rights. Maggie Boyle with the story.
For these communicators, the next 2 days will question their knowledge and equip them with the basics of human rights reporting.
But human rights defenders are everybody, every person who individually or with others acts to promote or protect human rights.
The AG is blatant on how he thinks the fourth estate has fared.
There's not enough maturity displayed by journalists, displayed by people who are actually commentators on human rights, about the depth of human rights.
The training, facilitated by the Media Industry Development Authority, was also an opportunity to share some examples.
It's decimating a little salmon called the Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission. What does it say about the role of the media, its commitment to human rights? I did not see any of the media come out and say, can we think a little deeper about why racism troubles us?
And there was much food for thought for participants.
Is it simply because you think that somebody gets bashed up by the police officer, or because there's some military involvement, therefore that's the only time you report on human rights?
Who decides the human rights agenda? Which human rights matter? When do human rights matter? Because the human rights agenda is like a Gori supermarket. We walk through the aisles and we selectively choose which ones we want to look at and which ones we want to ignore.
Speaking truth to power was another overarching theme, with participants urged to report robustly and always with the truth. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Methodist Church of Fiji has once again denied claims of their involvement in politics. While speaking on FBC TV's For the Record program, outgoing church president Reverend Dr. Tevita Bainivanua said a number of things have changed under his leadership in the last 3 years. Shireen Shivan reports.
The Methodist Church of Fiji, which was once involved in politics, now claims it got its priorities right.
The Methodist Church has a very strong voice and kept telling government what to do and all this. We have tried to come out and be church. We were being, informed by the political issues of those days. But then we realized that we are a church. We should be church.
Reverend Bainivanua says the church has a constitution which is adhered to by its members. The outgoing president denies that the church was ever the mouthpiece of political party SODELPA.
Well, the Prime Minister can say what he wants to say. I was asking him in the response to what was heard at Parliament. If he can give us, facts, where were we being the mouthpiece?
Reverend Benivanua was also questioned on why the Methodist Church Indian Division continues to be called Indian Division, when on the other hand the government is trying to create an inclusive society where everyone is recognized as a Fijian. Reverend Benivanua claims the church's Indian Division supports this and the name will be changed once the division feels this should be done. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
Still to come, UK reassures support for Fiji's COP23 presidency and devotees celebrate Ganesh Utsav. That's coming up.
Moala ravava ranavika, o tikongona tauna singatoka, ando talisaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere.
Ya dora chubuli kurnambili. Iborani batsukara hambara binaranga. Do talitakinan na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na sere. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na sere.
Pacific Cement Limited is importing 25,000 tons of cement from Vietnam, expected to arrive by Thursday. The decision to import the cement follows a planned 3-week shutdown of the Pacific Cement plant. Rachel Nuth with the story.
There has been a cement shortage across the country due to a major breakdown at the factory. However, parts have arrived and repairs will commence later this month.
During our closure, we don't want the market to feel uncomfortable. So that is why, with thanks to the government, they have assisted us by removing all the tariff. So we have imported 25,000 tons of cement from Vietnam.
15 engineers and technicians from Australia and New Zealand will carry out the repairs.
We had another 2 additional pieces that needs to be done. It will cost around 1.2 million to installation and commissioning. That is only the training gear. And then we've got a motor to order a new motor, which costs over $500,000. So the 2 adds up to about 2 million.
The ship carrying the cement will unload 8 tons in Lautoka and the rest in Suva. However, there will be no changes in cement prices. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
The United Kingdom has assured it will provide full support to Fiji when Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama assumes the COP23 presidency in November. Kelly Vavala reports.
The United Kingdom has spent billions of dollars to assist small developing nations around the world and in the Pacific to reduce carbon emissions. Lord Ahmad says that is why they will rally behind Fiji in the fight against climate change.
That's why we, the United Kingdom, are standing with Fiji and providing significant financial support for Fiji's presidency of COP23. And that is why we believe the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in 2018 should put the Pacific's concerns on the need for the Paris implementation.
British High Commissioner to Fiji Melanie Hopkins says Lord Ahmad's visit also points out the importance of involving youths in political discussions and developments.
Well, one thing that came out really strongly from the Minister's speech was just how important it is to involve youth. And that's really important for political processes the world over, including right here in Fiji.
Lord Ahmad will be attending the Pacific Islands Forum in Samoa, which will be a good platform to discuss challenges faced by the Commonwealth countries.
Working with the Commonwealth Secretariat and members of the Commonwealth, we are exploring specific areas where we could do more together, including on sustainable urbanisation, better access to climate finance, and increased use of specialist disaster.
The UK's Minister of State for the Commonwealth says their relationship with Fiji continues to grow through increased trade and investment. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Rice and cane farmers in the low-lying areas of Lambasa have taken it upon themselves to save their farms from the rising sea waters. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports their crop production have been severely affected.
Resoiling of farmland is becoming a costly exercise for farmers in the low-lying areas of Lambasa. Over the last decade, seawater from the nearby river has been intruding into their rice and cane fields.
I've been resoiling. I bring the soil from some other places and put here, then think the land goes up every time the water level goes up.
This red patch of soil costs $70 a load. In the last few weeks, Murti has had 4 loads dumped into this portion of his 4-acre farm. Drains are not much of a help.
Drainage board is doing the digging of the drains, and still the water is coming, flooding.
The Agriculture Ministry says it is aware of such cases and they have strategies in place to ensure minimal to nil impact in the future.
The bottom line to all this is how well we can identify, relocate, identify some other good areas we can move into to carry out sustainable agriculture practices, taking into account the implication of climate change.
Increased soil salinity affects the crop quality, therefore affecting production, and subsequently the farmers get less income. Farmers in the community here in Vunika outside Lambasa town are therefore requesting for government intervention. Eleanor Turangibio, FBC News.
The Health and Medical Services Ministry received equipment worth $40,000 that will help assist in emergency operations. The equipment has been donated under the Heroes Need Heroes program by the Australian government. Vilimaina Nangelevuki has more.
The emergency kit includes uniforms, protective equipment, ambulance kits, rescue gear and automated external defibrillators. Health Minister Rosie Akbar says this will enable them to provide efficient ambulance services.
The government is committed to building an ambulance service that can gain the pride and confidence of all Fijians, and that's a long way for us to go.
Australia's High Commissioner to Fiji, Margaret Toomey, says the equipment will assist life-saving work for ambulance providers.
Rescue equipment and trauma kits, enough to outfit 5 ambulances, will help your life-saving work.
The Heroes Need Heroes program aims to serve the needs of international ambulance and rescue personnel and at the same time offers training to first responders. Vilimaina Nangelevuki, FBC News.
Today marks the final day of Hindu religious festival Ganesh Utsav, and people from all walks of life gathered at the Maisuvu Park in Asese to celebrate the final rituals. The festival marks the rebirth of Lord Ganesha. Riklesh Singh was part of the celebration and files this report.
After 11 nights of prayers and preaching on Lord Ganesha, a huge crowd gathered at Maisuvu Park to mark the end of the celebration.
It was very wonderful, and it was a very great support from our organization, from our village.
Oh, it's good. I enjoyed.
So it was very great for us, the people of Vidya.
Assistant Secretary for Fiji Seva Ashram Sangh Akhilesh Prasad says the Utsav was celebrated at over 50 venues, with the theme being "Let us all have a nationwide celebration of all religion."
Because Lord Ganesha is the Lord of the population, and our main aim was to get all people together, the Fijians together, to celebrate in unity, and that's what we have done for the last 11 nights.
Attorney General Yas Sayed Kayum, while addressing the crowd, said he was honoured to be part of this annual event.
I want to equally applaud other organizations for their dedication in ensuring that universal teachings of different faiths are practiced and preached in Fiji.
11 days of these celebrations came to an end today when Lord Ganesha was immersed into the seas. With many beliefs on immersing Lord Ganesha, devotees now await for the return of Lord Ganesha next year. Riklesh Singh, FBC News.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, another Fijian boxer eyes the Olympics, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Bank reports a surge in investment. And in growing Fiji, road upgrade works in the city continues. Stay with us.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम is number 1. It's so hot.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे. मिर्ची एफएम is hot.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से. मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं. मिर्ची एफएम is hot. I love मिर्ची एफएम.
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबू आके मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे. मिर्ची एफएम, it's hot.
Welcome back. Leading business tonight. The Reserve Bank of Fiji, in its latest economic review, has stated that investment has surged from last year. New investment lended by commercial banks grew by over 36% to July. This is underpinned by increased new loans to the real estate, building and construction sectors. Domestic cement sales indication of level in construction also increased by over 15%. Investment stood at 26% of the GDP this year from an estimated 23% from last year. Job creation is tracking overall GDP performance and various new investment projects and adding to employment numbers. And we now join Elizabeth from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Vinaka, let's have a look at what's ahead on the economic calendar for this week. The Reserve Bank of Australia will release its interest rate decision today, which is expected to remain steady at 1.5%. On Thursday, the European Central Bank, or ECB, will release its interest rate decision, expected to remain at 0%. The euro has been rapidly gaining against the US dollar, and this concerns a number of policymakers at the ECB because a strong euro will dampen inflation and hamper exports growth. Due to that, there's a high chance the ECB will lower market expectations of policy tightening this week, resulting in pushing the euro lower in the near term. And that is all from me.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Looking at today's exchange rates and foreign currencies in the Fijian dollar. The Fijian dollar weakened against the Chinese yuan to close at 3.15, but it strengthened against the American and Australian dollar to close at 48 and 60 cents, while the New Zealand dollar dropped to close at 67 cents and the PNG Kina closed at 1.36. As for the commodities market, it was a mixed day as oil prices rose to close at $47.42 a barrel. Gold prices closed at $1,333 per ounce, and silver rose to close at $17.91 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, motorists and pedestrians are requested to take extra precaution when travelling along Gladstone Road in Suva due to heavy roadwork machinery operating in the area. The Fulton Hogan Highways is currently doing pavement rehabilitation and reconstruction. The 280-metre long road will include pavement replacement of water utilities, pavement reconstruction, newly installed footpaths and improved drainage system, and a new parking bay. Works include removing the existing failed pavement and replacing it with cement pavement for strength and durability. The road will then be sealed following stabilization. And that's business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, Ryan lined up for a role in France 7's team. And South Africa here ready to take on the Fiji Pearls. This and more coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti kombinasyon mo tikola ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo silil tali. Nagurara may nawamanyi nandunga gitu tali tajiri ang gitu Venezuela nagudurongo barongo na Radio Fiji 1 nandumoy biti
na Radio Fiji 1 nandumoy biti na bonga ni BNN.
Fiji Airways Ndrua fullback Pedeli Nadembe and halfback Frank Lomani will play a major role this weekend as the side continues to hunt for its first win in Australia's National Rugby Championship. Despite losing 45-36 to Brisbane City, both players played an outstanding game. Basil Prasad reports. Fiji Sevens Olympic gold medal winning coach Ben Ryan is being lined up for a role in the French Sevens setup for next season. The Daily Telegraph understands that Ryan is poised to be brought in to sprinkle some of his gold dust on the French ahead of next year's Sevens World Cup in San Francisco. Players have already been informed of his appointment, which is expected to be made public later this month. For the first time in Fiji netball history, 3 sisters will line up against South Africa in the first test match tomorrow. While the bond between the Rusivakula sisters is strong, so too is the competitiveness, with all 3 siblings vying for a spot as shooter in the starting team. Meli Tavanga reports.
It's worth capturing this moment as sisters Afa Ana and Maliana Rusivakula are ready to don the Fiji Pearls color against South Africa. While Ana and Afa are more experienced, young Maliana hopes to do her best straight out of under-21 team.
I'm pretty much excited. It's my first time to play alongside my two sisters, and I'm excited to play with them.
24-year-old Anahu played with AFA in the 2013 World Youth Netball Championship in Glasgow, says this will be a memorable moment for her to play with her siblings.
Even though I've played with AFA before, but since Mali is yes, I'll be playing with her. So it's a good it's a good opportunity to play with them now.
Out of the three, 25-year-old Afa is the most experienced, having a stint with Northern Stars in ANZ Premiership in New Zealand.
I'm privileged to have both my younger sisters play with me. I'm sure my parents are very proud of them making it to the squad.
The All Blacks might have the Barrett brothers, but the Fiji Pearls have the Rusivakula sisters. The Namukambao Tailevu sisters are determined to make their families proud, especially their mum and also their aunties, who used to play shooters back in their days. Melitavanga, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Pearls will not only go up against the world number 5 team, but a team led by one of the most successful Australian netball coaches and a former captain, Norma Plummer. Under her leadership, the South African team upset the England Roses 54-51 on Sunday and also managed narrow losses against the two top teams, Australia and New Zealand. Melitavanga with the story.
The South African Proteas arrived into the country last night, ready for the battle against the Fiji Pearls. The Quad Series has given the visitors many lessons, and they are here to test their skills against our netters.
We could go and play, a lot of the ranked teams underneath us, but if we were to improve, we had to put ourselves on the line and play the top 3 teams in the world, and that Quad Series has allowed them to grow and understand what sheer pressure is for 4 quarters.
Plummer says despite the win against England, they will not underestimate the Pearls.
We're looking forward to the challenge, and as I said, with Vicky Wilson at the helm, we're not going to take it lightly. We know she's a smart cookie. We all played with her and against her, so we need to make sure that we're covering all our bases.
The South African side is excited about their test against the Pearls tomorrow.
There's a lot of improvements in the team, and we're looking forward to playing Fiji. Obviously, we haven't played them for quite a long time, so it's been interesting to see where we stand against them.
Fiji Pearls host the Proteas at 6:30 p.m. at Suva's Vodafone Arena tomorrow. Melitavanga, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji football side has ended the Indonesian tour without a win and without a loss as well. They played a 0-0 tie against the Liga Indonesia champions Cilegon last night. Coach Christoph Gomel fielded a changed team captained by bar defender Remueru Takiata. The Wooler boys also played to a scoreless draw against Indonesia over the weekend. The team returns on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Fiji Football Association has confirmed receiving Vanuatu's interest in playing the Vodafone Fiji football team. Fiji FA Chief Executive Muhammad Yusuf says they could face Vanuatu before heading to Europe to play Estonia on the 19th of November.
We will look at Vanuatu, and they're keen to come over to Fiji, and we're looking at that prospect of Fiji playing Vanuatu in October FIFA window in Fiji, so 2 more international games.
18-year-old amateur boxer Nathan Singh has set his sights on the Olympic gold medal for the 2020 event in Japan. The younger brother of professional boxer Sebastian Singh is one of the top bets in the 56-kilogram category at the National Championships, which start in Suva on Thursday. Rohit Deo caught up with the boxer training today.
Focused on the task ahead, the undefeated boxer is looking to continue with his impressive form at the national meet this week.
I've been training hard. I've never trained this hard in my life. I'm not underestimating anyone. I'm looking forward to a compact competition. Hope the competition is tough.
Nathan Singh has so far fought 10 amateur bouts, winning all of them, 6 by knockout. He is using this week's national championships as a pathway to fulfill his bigger dreams.
I want the Olympic gold medal on my neck by 2020. Then afterwards, I'm thinking of turning pro.
Nathan's elder brother, Sebastian Singh, has made a name for himself in the boxing ring, and he is now helping his brother to do the same.
It's a proud moment that he's carrying on the family legacy. He's 10-0 right now. He's been working hard. He's been picking tips, bits and bits from here and putting it all together, trying to bring something different into the amateur ranks.
The National Boxing Championship begins in Suva on Thursday and runs until Saturday. The winners in each grade qualify to represent Fiji at the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu in December. Rohit Dev, FBC Sports.
Team Digicel Anynet will only feature one mixed team at the annual Nandi International Airport Volleyball Tournament to be played this weekend. Digicel has been a regular competitor at the Business House tournament for the past 4 years, and while for the players it's about being active and having fun, they also hope 2017 will be its turn to taste victory at the competition. Ironi Tuinuku reports.
It is more than just participating for the Digicel Anynet mixed team in the Nandi International Airport Volleyball Tournament this year.
Foster team bonding. A lot of us have been with the organization for a short while, so this gives us a good opportunity to bond with the other team members. Only that we're looking to use this opportunity to improve our fitness and to be active in terms of sports. As you know, the NCDs is a big issue right now.
Team Digicel is classing themselves as underdogs.
Been preparing well for the competition this year. We know that the other business houses are coming for improving their rankings compared to last year. Our preparations have been going on well. We've been practicing twice a week at the multi-purpose courts, and yeah, we're looking forward to giving the other mixed teams a run for their money this year.
We really want them to have fun, but if they can win or make it to somewhere in the competition, into the finals, that'll also be great. That'll be a bonus. But we mainly encourage them to have fun through these competitions, yes.
The Nandi International Airport Volleyball Tournament is the most anticipated business competition, bringing in thousands of players, supporters, officials year after year. The tournament will be held this Saturday at Prince Charles Park in Nandi. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports. Catch weather later on with Angie. And in new media, Motorola has unveiled its new Moto X4 smartphone at IFA 2017. That's after the break.
I'm another Sorobakro of Nayabu Wenebugatelebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Moto X4 has just been unveiled at IFA 2017 and it's a direct competitor of the Z2 Play. Weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. An interesting change in today's conditions. We called for a sunny day, but it looks like Mother Nature chose rain for some areas of the country. But you might have noticed, despite rain, it was still quite muggy. Let's take a quick look in the west. It was pretty nice with cool winds blowing by with a bit of cloud cover. Great time for sailing. Eastwards from Pekhaba to Suva, a rainy day with grey skies. More rain is indicated for tonight, so keep warm. And up in Vanuatu, it was mostly cloudy as well, but conditions were comfortable. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with moderate to rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tomorrow morning will be at 6:15 with a low tide at 12:34. See the beauty of sunrise at 6:10. For tomorrow, we're expecting a change in the weather trend. Get ready to welcome sunshine again. Tomorrow's temps, Ba and Lambasa will be the warmest with highs of 30 degrees. And looking further on to Thursday, the beautiful sunny spells will continue with a pinch of rain in the Northern Division. And that's our FBC weather for tonight. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji and Pulse today, we asked, can Fiji beat South Africa in their first test match tomorrow?
We only hope the best for these girls who are training hard and trying to get their names stamped in the history of sports. We wish the Fiji Pearls the best in the games.
I think Fiji will win if they have the good game plan.
I think Fiji will be winning the netball
I think Fiji will win since our team has worked hard and it's a good team this time.
I think South Africa because I always fan South Africa.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, ever heard of a robotarium? Well, the Georgia Institute of Technology houses one, and it allows researchers to run experiments with a swarm of robots. Recapping the main stories, Harvest Supermarket sued by former owners. Several countries express interest in buying Fiji sugar, and government announces allowance for the disabled. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking: is there a split in the SADELPA party? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. This beautiful shot was captured by Bernice Tavusa out in the Asawas. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
I'm another of Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.